At any given time, an estimated 35 to 45 million Americans are having trouble dropping the kids at the pool. Lack of bowel movements. That's not a disease, merely a symptom. Constipation is defined as 3 or fewer bowel movements per week. Ouch! So seriously, if you can't pinch a loaf regularly, that's your body's way of trying to tell you something, and what your body is not trying to tell you is that you need to take more chemicals, more pharmaceuticals, more drugs. Oftentimes, the junk food industry, modern medicine, big pharmaceutical companies are more interested in your wallet than in your health. Constipation is the most common digestive complaint. It is easily fixed with an all plant food based diet, preferably whole foods, non-GMO, minimally processed. Many minor symptoms, such as trouble downloading, are easily fixed with an all plant based diet, as are most serious chronic diseases. While scientific evidence and overwhelming correlational evidence has been piling up for decades, still only about 2% of Americans are on a vegan diet or 100% plant-based diet. And interesting to note that those 2% are roughly equally divided between Democrats and Republicans. You could not pay me to eat what most people eat. At age 50, I've gone as far as finishing a full iron distance triathlon in about 15 and a half hours on a plant-based diet. But I've been on that diet for well over 2 years now, as I try to explain to otherwise brilliant people, older folks, younger folks, educated, doesn't really matter. It seems like what I really run into is more of a mental constipation. People say, Randy, are you trying to tell me that everything I've learned my entire life about how to eat is wrong? And yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. If I could figure out a way to treat the mental constipation, I guess I wouldn't have to drive a '99 Chevy Venture minivan. Consuming an all plant-based diet is not only cheap, easy, and delicious, but add to that a quality exercise program, Healthy Motion, and we would definitely solve our national health care crisis, and I think we'd find ourselves more competitive in the global economy as well. Our bodies, our body chemistry, are best described as a very complex orchestra. Science doesn't really understand it all, probably will never, definitely not in our lifetimes. Research does show a very high correlation to standard American diet, high in animal-based foods, with Alzheimer's disease. Again, going back to the idea of constipation, it's not just our stomachs and even our minds that become constipated. Standard American diet tends to plug up all parts of our bodies. So if you want to be able to let the dog out regularly, feed the fish every day, simply change your diet to mostly or an all plant-based diet where it is easy to get all the nutrients you need from a plant-based diet. This I've proven, as millions of Americans have already done. I'm a runner, I'm an endurance runner, and I love runners. I love to run up to 50 miles. But what I find funny about a lot of runners is they will oftentimes run even further in order to justify eating more crappy, junky foods. This to me is very much like getting one foot massaged while you pummel the other foot with a hammer.